Hi, it's Kate. Thank you for joining me for this video. I am doing another session that is quick and lean and mean because I've been really short on time, but I also really like to build something in The Sims. I find that really relaxing, and then I record it. But these have been really short builds, not as detailed as I typically do, and I'm trying to build smaller too, as it's actually kind of hard for me to build small. I tend to let my buildings grow and grow and grow. But I very intentionally did something small and found some inspiration. I'm building in the world of Komorebi, which came with Snowy Escape. And I think it's a Japanese inspired world. And while this isn't a Japanese house per se, the inspiration photo that I found was not Japanese. It just, for some reason, I got the vibes of Mount Komorebi and the space, and that's why I built it here. As I was looking for like a deep green house color. It's my favorite color. It's kind of like a deeper green, almost like a cooler tone green, not really a warmer tone green. But anyways, I found this really beautiful house with green tones on Pinterest and wanted to build it. But I also intentionally went to, this might be the smallest lot in Mount Komorebi. It's one of those 20 by 15 lots. And I intentionally chose that so that I could not let the building sprawl out. The Pinterest photo house looked much larger than this. So anyways, this was quite a challenge for me personally, just to not overbuild. I really had to try to squish this down because I'm short on time, but I love the satisfaction of building something. So I think this is another one where it took me 2.5 hours to build it. So that's pretty quick. Especially if you're somebody that really just likes to get into their builds in The Sims. I know if I'm really excited about Cass and building a family, I can spend hours in there too. But this was just, this was build, and I can easily spend hours and hours and hours building. So 2.5 hours, pretty short. And I got the exterior looking kind of how I wanted it to look based off of the inspiration photo that I used, and then got into the interior, placed the stairs because it's important to make sure that, you know, your stairs are going to work out. Then realized, oh, this is really small. This is kind of awkward. And there's this large room in the back, which was kind of a feature of the build that I really liked from the exterior inspiration photo. And I had the thought that it could be like the primary bedroom suite. I had the thought that it could be just a big lounge living room space. Then I also ended up putting it in as the dining space because the kitchen made sense right next to it. And it didn't make as much sense to have the dining room on the other side of the house from this. So it actually made for kind of an awkward, like two little seating areas. There's kind of a, actually I think I made what is currently shown as a living room into a bedroom. So that large back room becomes a big dining room with kind of the family style floor seating, table and not chairs that came with Mount Komorebi, or not Mount Komorebi, Snowy Escape. It's a really nice build. I wanted this to feel rustic and modern. And I think those can sound like they don't go together, but they really do. Rustic, just meaning raw materials and the beauty of raw materials, and then modern, meaning it's not fussy. Doesn't have all the traditional elements that you might see. But again, not necessarily Japanese either. It's just, I just got the vibes for this world and this style. So I did try to use quite a bit of the Snowy Escape build and buy items, which I think also worked very nicely for this. I'm happy with it. It's my not Japanese build. It's a really beautiful. It also kind of lends itself to multi-generational living because I've got a child's bedroom upstairs, and then I've got two kind of adult bedrooms. So there's an adult bedroom downstairs, which I'm considering the primary, and then there's an adult bedroom. Did I already say upstairs? There's one downstairs and there's one upstairs, and then there's a child's bedroom upstairs as well that has two beds in it. So I picture parents with their children as well as their own parents, so grandparents, in the same house, and I think it would be good for gameplay. So it was really important with this small space that upstairs loft area be able to offer a lot of skill building. The image of the exterior building that I was using on Pinterest as inspiration for this project are really beautiful landscaping, and I just wanted to embrace that. I really wanted this to look lush, and so the other benefit of this lot is it is next to, it's kind of in the neighborhood, but it's on the edge of the neighborhood where there's also land, there's woods and stuff nearby, so it can lean itself to being kind of lush without it looking out of place. And so I enjoyed doing that, but it kind of, because it's such a small lot, there wasn't a lot of space for skill building or just things to do for the Sims. So tried to put in little skill building and activity items throughout the space wherever I could fit them, which it helped. You know, this is, again, like I'm on a time crunch and I just needed to de-stress, but quickly. I'm not going to spend days on this build. I'm not going to spend hours on it today and then tomorrow and then the next day. It's like, no, just get something done. So forcing myself to use a 20 by 15 might be my new thing. I was actually also brainstorming other ways to do this. Like maybe I should just do room builds and then just detail a room build. Because even on this smaller lot, I didn't spend the amount of time to really go into detail. I always kind of idolize Jessica Pye. If you watch her, if you're not watching her on YouTube, you totally should. She's fantastic and really detailed in her builds. So I always like to channel her, but my builds just aren't that detailed unless I spend just loads and loads of time, and I just don't have that kind of time right now. So I hope you're enjoying this one for what it is. It is kind of good for gameplay because it's not overly cluttered, but it does have things to do. And like I said, it could be good for multi-generational living. So probably a good option for a Sims family, or even if you just wanted to start it out as, you know, a single person and then grow them to, you know, have a spouse and then children, and then they become the grandparents and those children have children. You know, it could be a fun multi-gen play home, and it's in this great world of Mount Komorebi where there's plenty of things to do. So hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining me, and I think I'm going to get to the screenshots pretty soon. But again, yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me for my not Japanese house. Bye.